shock absorber is the brains of the suspension. When you build a fabricated part like a control arm or a four-link, you're connecting dots, and there's only so much you can do there, and the technology is pretty stable. With a shock absorber, you've got this wide range of things that you can do, and since it's, in my opinion, the most important part of the suspension, that's where we spend the most amount of time.
Like anything else in racing, is always finding the weak link. If you get the car to stick more, you need more sway bar, you need more shock response, you need more. It all comes along with it. And Ridetech approached me about running their stuff, and I put it on. The car was faster, of course, but it was easier to drive, and I could feel it. I could feel it in the seat, and I've had this car since '72, so I was, with all the transformations, all the changes over the years, that's probably the biggest change that I made to the car that I could feel right off the bat in comparison to another shock.
When we started Air Ride Technologies in '96, obviously we were really small. I was working out of my garage at home, and I bought shock absorbers from wherever I could get them. In some cases, literally went to the Napa store and bought whatever would fit on the car. And over the years, our customers have gotten more demanding. So that means we had to find better components, better technologies, better ways of doing things.
So one of the first things I did when I got the suspension completed was I called them and said, okay guys, where should I start? Not at autocross, where should I start to run around here? And they gave me a good starting point. And then the first autocross I came to, of course Brett helped me out and said, here's, you might want to crank it down to here. And then Greg and all the guys helped me out a whole lot as far as what to set it for what I'm doing.
As you can see, I'm quite filthy. I've been under quite a few cars today, helping people out, making suggestions on what to do with the shocks. I am Director of Engineering for Ridetech, Air Ride Technologies. My daily duties are running the engineering and R&D departments, and weekend duties are out here having fun driving cars. This is not a required activity, no, this is for fun.
Ridetech does a huge amount of events per year, not for just the information that you can give to them, but for the information you can get back from them. We learn as much at an event as what we teach our customers. You know, because they'll tell you straight up what they like, what they don't like, how you can change it. You ought to do this, you ought to do that. They will let you know in no uncertain terms, and it's irreplaceable, it's priceless.
I would say I typically go to 10 autocrosses a year, I would say. This weekend, I decided I'm taking a little vacation, so we're here to have some fun and play. If everybody at the shop's not here, I'll be surprised.
I'm actually here this weekend for a vacation with my wife. I promised her a little time off. Well, it just happens to coincide with the Good Guys run. So we got here and I added a few clicks to the rear shocks to get the truck dialed in so that it would turn in a little better. And I've just made a few adjustments on the shock absorbers and the air pressure, and that's it. Our best time so far is a 36.5, which is faster than a lot of the muscle cars.
You know, we are the customer. We're all hot rodders here, so we can identify with what they want and what they need, and we can figure out what they want to buy, what we need to build.
I work with Fox. They really help us out in getting us where we need to be. I bounce ideas off of them, they bounce ideas off of us. Collectively, we come up with a solution that seems to work really well in the car.
We've been working with Fox for the last 5 or 6 years on adapting and inventing technology to address this market. I mean, a lot of these pieces that you see here, some shims, some pistons, some seals, that's ongoing Fox architecture. What Ridetech has brought to the table is translating what our customers want and how to make these parts fit together to make this shock absorber do what our customers want.
You know, I built this car really to spend about 70% of its time on the street and about 30% of its time on the track. Put about 1,000 miles on it before I got here. It handles beautifully on the highway. I love it. I couldn't be happier with it.
This thing is a flat-out pure race car. You know, it's what we built it for. It's why we're here. It's definitely not a grocery getter. You could. You're going to need some earplugs and you know, some fans in there because it does get really hot and it's really loud.
Around the last month, I probably put about 2,500 miles on this car. You look at cars like this and you think that they're going to be really harsh and really very difficult to drive as a street vehicle. Frankly, they're not. You know what? With these shocks that we've got, these triple coilovers from Ridetech, I got to tell you, the car handles fabulously and I can drive it down the street 10 minutes later and I feel like I'm driving in a modern day car.
Yeah, we drove this car here from the hotel. The only thing I've changed is the air pressure. Probably should mess with shock valving, but have not. So far, I've been really happy with the way it's handled. Just trying to get used to the course and used to the car itself.
So now that we're into the coilover market as well as the air suspension market, you know, we started talking about, okay, how are we going to position this in relation to the air spring? And in reality, there's no difference. The car doesn't know if it's got a coil spring on it or if it's got an air spring on it. The only difference is with an air spring, by virtue of raising and lowering the air pressure, you can change the load capacity of this unit and therefore raise and lower the car.
I've been around circle track racing all my life. I used to race dirt and then I've moved up to asphalt at a Salem, Indiana track. We're driving a 66 Chevelle. It's got our E3 airbags on it, the airbags. It's got triple adjustable shocks on it. Car handles awesome. We didn't adjust the air. We put a little bit more shock into it as the day went on. We've been messing around with that, trying to get it just to handle a little bit better so it don't push you to turns, and it's starting to come in really good now.
I drove it 8.5 hours down here from Illinois, all by myself. I haven't touched them since I've been here. The car's getting faster and faster. These things are great on the track and they're great on the street. One of the things that we no longer have to do is change it from street mode to track mode. It's just, we just leave them. And the car's great on the road and it's great on the track.
The other part of why we go to dynamic driving events, autocross, road course, stuff like that. First of all, most of the time we drive these cars there. So my guys, myself and my guys, we get firsthand experience on how these cars ride on the road and what it takes to tune them up to drive fast on a racetrack. Sometimes there's very little difference.